everyone. Thank you for joining us for the informal Sunday showcase with informal play readings. Today we have two short plays for you, and we're going to start with The Peach Patch by Bob Greenwade. I'm going to invite him to come forward so I can just ask him a quick question. Hi, Bob. So what was the inspiration for this little 10-minute play?
Well, I initially wrote it as an entry in the third round of the quarantine bake-off competition. It had 5 ingredients. For those not familiar with that, where have you been? And the idea is that the writers have 48 hours to write a short play of up to, I think, 15 pages, using 5 required ingredients and then 1 extra credit ingredient, which is optional. For the round 3, and I printed them out to make sure I had them right. The ingredients are a goodbye, a peach, a silence, a misconception, and a tree growing. I think a lot of people, if just from the title, if not the description, you probably figured out how most of those, if not all of them, fit in. The extra credit I was not able to fit in. That's shooting stars or a sword fight. And I didn't see any way to fit those in there. But I've had a lot of fun working these things in, and I've always been fond of just playing around with words. This is what I term a kitchen sink comedy. I take a single idea and then I throw everything I can think of at it. My kitchen sink comedies can range from the single idea of just the word check to that was my shortest project, and then my longest one is Robin Hood, which has the first 2 out of 4 very long full-length plays done. So you can get an idea of the scope of this. I think I'll let people figure out for themselves what the seed on this one is. If you haven't figured it out already, it should be pretty quickly apparent.
Perfect. All right, well, I'll let you get us started with setting the scene.
Okay, well, this takes place at a cemetery. And of course, this play is best performed with no actual dead people. And it takes place at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. This would be around last March or thereabouts. So we open on the cemetery. John enters on one side of the stage. His gait clearly somber. He stops about 4 feet from the center. He pauses for a few seconds and breathes a heavy sigh. Ruby enters on the other side of the stage, no less somber, and stops about 4 feet from the center.
Hi, John.
Hi, Ruby.
Looks like just the 2 of us, huh?
So far, others might come.
Yeah, I don't suppose even COVID could keep everyone away from this.
Eric said he'd be here ahead of me. He wanted to set up a computer feed so people could join on YouTube Live.
That's thoughtful of him. It should help out a lot of people.
Yep.
It's sad that Georgia had to go at this time.
It wasn't even COVID that took her. I know that's the story that's been going around, but she didn't even have COVID. It was lung cancer.
That is sad. I'd heard the story too. I thought it was COVID until yesterday.
It was pretty aggressive. I always warned Steve that cigarettes would kill him. I don't think anyone expected them to take her, too.
I don't think anybody thinks about that. You always were a good stepson for her, caring for her so attentively at the end.
Well, I don't think she could have asked for a better next-door neighbor.
Thank you. You know, I talked to her for a bit after Stephen's funeral. She told me about that tree there.
The peach tree?
Yep. She said it was just a little thing when she first was here for her grandfather's funeral. It was barely taller than she was. Now look at it.
Is that on this side of the property line or the other?
She said it's on the other. Legally, it's part of that park. Anyway, the family plot runs all the way there from here. She called it the Peach Patch.
The Peach Patch?
Well, her family's name was Peach.
It's pronounced Peck.
Is it? It's spelled Peach.
No, it's P-E-C-H. No A. It's pronounced Peck.
I always thought it was pronounced Peach.
You're not the only one to make that mistake.
Was it German?
Polish.
All my life, I said it Peach. I wonder why she never corrected me.
Georgia was so easygoing that way. She never wanted to push anything.
I guess it didn't help that her first name was Georgia and her sister's name was Melba.
That's probably why so many people were confused. Their parents had an odd sense of humor, which of course she inherited.
So instead of the Peach Patch, it should be the Peck Patch.
But then I suppose it wouldn't go with the peach tree.
You know, I think it might be nice if we could put up a little plaque around the family plot.
Probably not as the peach patch.
It could be the Peck Peach Patch.
I wouldn't try to push the Peck Peach Patch.
Why not?
Georgia had this cousin Patrick, and he's kind of sensitive about his name. It's sort of his pet peeve.
Well, if his name's Pat Peck, I can kind of understand that.
So if you push the Peck Peach Patch, Pat Peck will punch you.
I could just make it a suggestion, you know, just pitch the idea.
You think pitching the Peck Peach Patch without pushing could prevent Peck Patch's punches?
That's the idea. Like I said, Georgia had her parents' sense of humor. I think she would have loved it.
I suppose it could work. In a pinch.
Well, potentially preventing punches from Pat Peck's pet peeve in a pinch by pitching, not pushing, the Peck Peach Patch is a plus.
John casually takes a couple of steps back.
Is something wrong?
You know that the coronavirus is typically spread through particles in the breath, right?
Yes, but we were already far enough apart, 6 feet. In fact, I think we were 8 or 9.
Given the direction this conversation is going, I thought it might be a good idea to practice a little extra social distancing.
Oh, right. I see your point.
She likewise takes a couple of extra steps back.
Do you think Pat's coming?
No, he'll probably join on the YouTube live feed, though. I think he's stuck in Australia somewhere.
Do you know where?
I'm not sure, but I think Perth.
Well, there's something Pat Peck being in Perth could prevent those punches you proffered previously.
Crawford?
Well, I would have said mention, but somehow it just didn't feel right.
I suppose. Anyway, Pat's on his way back here one way or another.
But the trip would give him time to cool off.
Well, yes. And there are air travel restrictions that would slow him down as well. What are you getting at?
I could pitch the Peck Peach Patch while Pet Perth is in Perth with Pat's punches prevented by the Pacific.
Perfect. Then he can have time to pause and ponder the proposal. That's a wonderful idea. In fact, if it weren't for social distancing, I'd hug you right now.
Well, maybe after social distancing.
Georgia would have loved the idea. She would have adored it.
Well, maybe we can get support from the city or the county or whoever runs that park.
I'm pretty sure it's the city.
Do you know what it's called? I didn't see a sign on the way in.
Let me check. I saw it in my car's GPS, but I don't remember off the top of my head. Give me a minute here. Here it is. Hospital Park.
Papasu?
It says here that the peach tree was planted by Penelope Hospital.
Oh dear. What would Penelope Papasil have planted the peach tree in? Papasil Park preclude pitching the Peck Peach Patch.
Probably not. Penelope Popsicle planted the peach tree with the proviso that park patrons are permitted to pick the peaches.
That's generous.
The park's webpage has a brief biography of Penelope Popsicle. The park's named for her grandfather, Peter Popsicle, but Penelope played a part in proclaiming the park.
Oh, I see.
According to this, she passed away a few years ago, but her 5 kids managed the park through trust. She was a very generous woman, not just with money, but with honor. She loved to bring attention to others and showcase their talents and kindness.
Well, Georgia sure did fit the description of talented and kind.
Exactly. So proclaiming the peck peach patch would provide a precisely perfect paean for Penelope Popsis.
I'll try it.
It's probably best coming from family. As George's stepson, I could get things started. I could even send an email as soon as I get home today.
That would be wonderful. How do you figure you'll go about it?
Well, I'll propose the project of a plaque proclaiming this parcel proximate to Popsicle Park as the Peck Peach Patch, Penelope Popsicle's progeny, with the provision that the perfect paean to Penelope, then pitch it properly to Pat Pack in Perth, permitting the Pacific to prevent any punches prompted by Pat's pet peeve prior to any pause for pondering the proposal.
A perfect plan.
Oh, I think I see. Yes, there's Eric's van. He just pulled into the cemetery. Say, Ruby, would you mind guiding him over here? I need to head to the manager's building for a minute.
Well, I don't think anyone's in there.
That's not the issue. It's just after all this, alliteration, I need to pee.
Oh, sure thing, John.
Thanks.
He turns an exit as Ruby turns and waves for Eric's attention. The end.
That was great. All right, we're gonna bring on our next playwright, Cristina. If you could join us for our to discuss Rafe Randler, that would be great. Hi. Oh no. So as sometimes happens with Zoom plays, we're having some technical difficulties and I don't know if we can hear you. So you're muted. Oh no. Still can't hear you. One more time. All right. Well, I don't know if we'll be able to hear you today. I'm so sorry, Cristina. But what we're gonna do is I will just read your setting and we'll get going on our play. I'm sorry I couldn't intro your play for you. But we'll definitely try and do it next time. All right. Alrighty, here we go. This is Rafe Randler, The Case of the Red Ratzinger Ruby, a 10-minute play. And it's the Ruby Room of the Munchie Museum. And it's the present. At rise, Rafe Randler and Joe Boron enter the Ruby Room of the Munchie Museum.
So, this is it. The Ruby Room of the Munchie Museum. And here am I, Rafe Randler, the dogged, relentless, quietly brilliant private investigator, a man of few words and many hymnites.
Insights.
And at my side is my trusty assailant,
Assistant.
Moron.
Boron.
Yes, here we are. There is the double-locked hood of this door of this room. This room that once held the Red Ratzinger Ruby. This is the scene of the famous booger heist.
Jewel heist.
The mysterious theft of the Red Ratzinger Ruby given to this mausoleum
Museum.
by the eccentric Hermina Ratzinger, the millionaires of Muncie Imbidana.
Indiana.
Now, we must be vermin. How it was done. That is the question.
And who did it?
Yes, that is the other question. And when I solve the how, I will know the who.
Or if you know who, you may know how.
Who and how and who, and who how, I will bring all these matters into the light. For I, Rafe Randler, is quicker.
Esquire.
Yes, I will not be daunted. So, Jomoron,
Boron.
what do we do so far? What are the facts, the figures, the parameters, the pentameters, and, to quote a certain someone who shall yet be unnamed, what are the known unknowns?
Firstly, we know that the thief, or thieves,
There was more than one?
we don't know.
Oh, yes. This is one of the unknowns.
We know that the thief, or thieves, left behind the finely wrought gold and silver setting where the Red Ratzinger Ruby once rested.
A valuable piece in itself, I surmise. Why does the thief or thieves leave it behind?
We don't know.
Ah! Another known unknown!
To proceed,
Yes, proceed.
we know that whoever did this...
Wait! What is that?
What? Where?
There, in the shadows, in the dark, murky morass of the deep recesses of this room, shaped like a long and convoluted work of a mad sculptor.
It's a rectangle.
There. Do you see it? Something. Or is it someone?
Say no more. It is someone.
Eye? As in eyebrow, eyelash, eye drops.
It is I, Mildred Mayberry, your most ardent admirer. You, Rafe Randler, have dazzled and bedecked me ever since the case now known as the undoing of Wilby F. Ing, the embezzler.
It was there, where Wilby F. Ing was foiled at last. There I first saw you, Mildred. Oh, Mildred.
I've recorded the case in meticulous detail here in this leather-bound gold-clasped journal, embroidered at the edge with a tiny butterfly stitches, studded at each corner with precious gems.
You have written of my prodigious private investigations.
Yes, I'm your faithful scribe, Rafe Randler, devoting my life is in the most dedicated way to recording your every case in my contemporary accursed cursive.
Cursed, you say? Your cursive is cursed.
Yes, alas, my penmanship, it is so beautiful that one glimpse, no one remembers that it is held by hand.
Oh, wondrous hand.
And that hand is part of this wrist.
A most delicate wrist.
The wrist is part of the arm.
Oh, winsome arms.
And above the arms, my shoulders, my other shoulder, my other arm, and wrist and hand, my head. Rafe Randler. And my neck.
Oh, perfect in every way.
This body of mine and this face, your face.
Your face, your beautiful face.
No one notices me, Mildred Mayberry, because of this cursive curse put upon me on the very day that I discovered you, Rafe Randler, the most brilliant detective in the Western world.
This is very odd. You, my greatest admirer and devoted scribe, say that your cursive is cursed. And now I recall now that there are those who say that the famous Red Ratzinger Ruby is also cursed.
Oh, do go on, Rafe Randler. Astound us with your deductions.
My little blue cells are whirling and twirling.
You mean your little gray cells?
No, Jomoran. Mine are blue.
Blue, my favorite color. Oh, I swoon.
Do not swoon. Do not interrupt. My little blue cells are twirling, and the answers are circling all around my steely, steadfast mind. This is what I
Deduce.
this admirer of mine, for whose some reason I cannot quite see, except as a shadow, a vague, foggy form.
It is the curse. Oh, a cursed curse.
I see you, Mildred. You are perfect in every way.
You, Jomoran, can see this supposed woman, this mildew blueberry.
Mildred Mayberry.
Only I, Rafe Randler, various astute private investigator, only I have seen that this vague, foggy, formless person has made her way into this locked room.
Brilliant. What was your first clue, Rafe Randler? Please tell me. I will write it here in my leather-bound journal in my cursed cursive.
My first clue, it was this. There is only one floor
Door.
into this locked gloom.
Room.
And though my trusty assailant,
Assistant.
Joboron,
Oh, hell.
is with me, only I have been given the key to this blocked doom.
Room.
Only I have the key. I am the only one to be entrusted with this key.
Entrusted.
Since the famous, some say infamous, booble heist of the Red Ratzinger Ruby.
All true, except for my name and a few other details.
Yet you, Milfred Milcherry,
Mildred Mayberry.
you are here, and even though you are only a vague, shadowy, grayish, foggish,
Indistinct.
formless form, I know you are here, in this locked loom, and so I confuse
Deduce.
that you are the who has stolen the Red Ratzinger Ruby. Confess, or forever be banished from my presence. No longer will I allow you, formless as you may be, to educate
Dedicate.
your life to recording and hoarding the genius of my astute, acute, and profoundly humble methods in pursuing criminal masterminds and all the other garments
Varmints.
of the nefarious and gregarious Utterbird.
Underworld.
Banished, you say? Banished from your presence?
Yes, I do not jest. Confess.
No, Mildred, no. Do not confess. Be banished and be gone, and I will follow you. I long for you to see that I love you. And how can you see me when all you see is Rafflander Esquire?
Do not banish me, please. I will confess.
No, do not confess.
Rafe Randler, most brilliant of all detectives,
Wes.
I confess that you are not the only one with the key to this room. For beneath this mass of wind-blown curls, this winsome wig, which I now remove to see the fine, frizzy, forlorn tresses of the true me, I also have a key to this room. Because I am Elmira Ratzinger, the millionairess of Muncie, Indiana. It was I who stole the Red Ratzinger Ruby.
You stole your own booby.
Ruby!
But pray tell, why?
Because I wanted in every way to emulate you, Rafe Randler. Therefore and wherefore, I was relentless in my research about the criminals you have foiled, and I discovered it was Wilby F. Ing, the embezzler, who placed this curse on me. And Wilby F. Ing has a secret identity.
Wait! Say no more. I inspected and always suspected that Wilby effing the embezzler is actually Has Been Bang, the malicious magician.
Yes, your suspicious mind has once again ascertained the twists and turns of the mysterious case of the cursive curse. It was Wilby F. Ing, also known as Has Been Bang, who put this curse upon me.
Because he was in love with you, as am I!
Because he was in love with me, and he hated you, Rafe Randler. So he cursed my cursive. But I have found a way to undo the curse.
Could it be? Then will you at last see me? With all my bright, blazing love, all for you, Mildred.
And once undone, you will see me at last with all my beauty, all my millions, all for you, Rafe Randler.
Go forward then, Tildred Teaberry, undo the curse.
Mildred.
Here, I draw from my bosom the Red Ratzinger Ruby.
Oh, fearsome fool.
Jewel.
The curse is undone. I Mildred Mayberry, Elmira Ratzinger, in your presence, place the ruby once more in its finely wrought gold silver settings. Thus,
Suddenly, spectacularly, there is a dazzling array of lights and the sound of many bells and whistles. Rafe Randler looks at Mildred Mayberry. Mildred Mayberry looks at Joe Boron. Joe Boron looks at the Red Ratzinger Ruby.
I see you, Mildred Mayberry, the millionairess of Muncie. I see you clearly, and my little blue cells are transfixed.
the curse is lifted, and I see clearly your most trusted assistant, Joe Boron. What a magnificent fellow he is.
The sight of this Red Ratzinger Ruby in its finely wrought gold and silver setting has cleared my head. I must return now to my true calling, for I remembered that I am the acerbic, acidic, and Aberdeen, Arizona.
I follow you, Joe Boron, wherever you go.
And I follow you, Mildred Mayberry, to solve this new and baffling mystery.
Mystery.
The end. All right, I'd like to invite all the cast members and the playwrights from the shows today on stage for a little curtain call. In Rafe Randler, we have Rafe Randler is Skylar Reed, Jorah Boron is Soren Smithrood, Mildred Mayberry is Rose Taylor, and of course, Rafe Randler was written by Cristina White. In The Peach Patch by Bob Greenwade, we have John, played by Alessandro Struski, and Ruby, played by Lynn Winkle. Thank you all for joining us today, and last but not least, I'm just going to share a little promo video of things we have coming up next week. Everyone could turn off their video.